So yesterday, we went over to a friend's house, and my friend has a scoby, and she makes her own kombucha. It's really good, and we started getting into kombucha over the last few months or so. So I asked her whenever she had one available that she would let me have one. And she's like, oh, well, mine just split. So here you go. So we have to go get some stuff to be able to make it because I have nothing on hand. So we're gonna go to the store. One thing I needed was a gallon glass jar and some green tea. And I also needed my kettle and the scoby. And I had this little neat idea of dangling the tea bags from the lid, and I thought it was very nifty and clever. And my tea kettle doesn't really go fill the whole gallon, it's only about half of it. So by the time I poured the first batch in, it was totally useless, and I had to cut it down anyways, which was a shame because I thought it was brilliant. So it has been several hours later, like 5 or 6. The tea mixture is finally at room temperature, so now I'm going to add the scoby into it and then put it into a dark cupboard to ferment for a couple weeks. I then had to remove the tea bags out of the bottle and then add in the scoby, which looks like a brain, in my opinion. One of the mistakes I made, I think, was not getting a cloth as breathable as what I got here in this picture. So I don't know if it was breathable or not, but we'll see. So I had to empty out all my cupboard with all my oils and syrups and sit it in and let it sit for 2 weeks. Then I had the same process again 2 weeks later by digging everything out and trying to not spill it all over the floor.
And it looks so yummy, babe.
It smells interesting.
Mommy, I think I put it down on the kombucha and then we're going to take a picture of this.
Yeah, we'll take a picture of it.
And then we can put it down.
This is removing the scoby. Yummy. That sounds so good, sloshing it around.
And we had to keep the scoby covered so it doesn't dry out and so it keeps getting fed because it is a live organism after all. And we ended up buying some half-gallon jars of kombucha, drank it all, so we could store our kombucha into that. Poorly, might I add. Very poorly stored. Hence the mess. But I think we have a lot to learn. It was an okay first attempt, but I think if we tried loose leaf instead of bags, it would be better. As well as, I don't know, it just seemed watered down to me and not as good. So I don't really know exactly what needs to happen, but I think practice makes perfect, and I just have to keep at it, see what can make it better. River, try step. Ezio.
It's not bad.
Yeah? That's good.
Chug, chug, chug.
Or we can just
Chug, chug,
drink
chug.
that a bit.
Okay, take a couple cups.
Chug, chug, chug. Mommy, chug, chug. Mommy, chug, chug. Mommy, do that.
Daddy, don't teach him these things.